everybody. You know what, Luke? You intro the podcast. I'm sick of doing it. Why don't you do it?
All right, everybody. Welcome to Drawn to DC, where we talk about this week's installment of a DC animated film. Okay?
A DC animated film. Yes.
And
What's
in
the
honor
movie?
of in honor of Father's Day being this
Even though
weekend,
this is coming out the day after,
um, we did
we don't did
we did. We're
it.
doing we're talking and discussing the Son of Batman.
Yes. Yes. I made a mistake because the last episode I said we were doing Throne of Atlantis, but I forgot there's like a stopgap with Son of Batman. But Son of so
Speaking of,
Batman.
I watched them backwards. You watched them this one, Atlantis. I watched it the other way.
Yes, I watched
And it
it
still
in.
works. They're not
I
really.
mean, they're same canon, but you could watch them in either order, really. But the funny thing is, this like DCAMU New 52 Batman has a trilogy of these movies. So it's this one, and then it's Batman versus Robin, and then it's there's a third one.
Bad
It's on the
Blood.
list. I can't remember it, but what?
I said bad. Is it the Bad Blood one?
Yeah, Bad Blood. Yeah. So this is the first of the trilogy. Um, so yeah, Son of Batman is the movie we're talking about. This technically came out before Throne of Atlantis, and this kind of just establishes, which is so funny because there is a Wonder Woman one and then there is a Superman one, but it's so funny that they're like, okay, we reestablished after Flashpoint, we established this new continuity, but people want to know about Batman. So after that Justice League movie, we got to do a Batman movie.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, of the four that we've watched so far, this is probably one of my least favorites. I just did not vibe with this one as much as I would have liked. I don't think it's terrible, but I definitely like the other ones more.
Yeah. I'll start by saying that I enjoyed this film. It's good. I just Damien's my least favorite.
Yeah.
He's a fucking cuck of a. Uh,
But he's designed that way. He's
I get. I
designed.
yeah. I get that. Like they all have
Yeah, they're on
their
little
personas as a Robin. Like
quirks. Yeah.
Dick's the first. He's the prodigy. He's the golden boy. Then you got Jason, who's kind of the anarchist, troublemaker. You got Tim, who's just a kiss ass, and then all the other ones mixed in with the girl. But main
And
the
Damien
the
was raised by an extremist.
the quartet of Robins, and it's
Yeah.
not that
I
I don't care for the other ones,
yeah.
the women, the girls, the whatever. But as the four like main, when you hear of Robin, that's what these four are probably one of the only ones you kind of think of. And I hate Damien.
Also,
really
it's funny to
so
watch.
entitled and annoying.
Yeah. Well, it's actually really funny to watch this movie back to back with Justice League because it's the same director. It's Ethan Spalding. So he directed this and Throne of Atlantis. And I feel like both movies for me felt a little rushed. Or I feel like they just I think at this time DC wasn't really like they're committed to making these movies, but they're not committed to adding more time to them. Like all of them feel like they have to hit like a 75-minute benchmark or something in there because this movie's an hour 14, I think, and then Throne of Atlantis is an hour 15. And it's just I think that's one of my problems with it. I just feel like there's some things that aren't fully developed, and this movie could have benefited for another like half hour or another whole extra couple of scenes because this movie doesn't do Damien any favors
No.
because he, even by the end, he is still pretty unlikable. He has a fucking great final fight with Deathstroke. That scene was awesome, but like, and again, I understand it's by design because it's supposed to challenge Batman as a parent. It's supposed to challenge, it's Batman dealing with a version of himself that doesn't feel like, how do I explain this?
Well, it's basically if he let the darkness win.
Yeah,
Damien
well,
is
yes, Damien
what he could
is
have been if he
yeah.
let vengeance rule his life. But he says there's always a line that you don't cross, and that's him trying to wrestle with himself at the same time, being like, "This is why we don't do this."
Yeah. And I don't know, man. I maybe it's
But
because I
one of
fooled
the first times
myself.
you see him in at Wayne Manor, and he's trying to look at the stocks and stuff. He's like, "This is going to be mine someday." It's like we just met yesterday, bro. First of all, if anybody's going to get this shit, it's Alfred when I die. Like,
Um, another thing that okay, so I want to get into my notes, but some things that I find interesting is we talked about it, and I think we're gonna keep noticing it, and I feel like a lot of actors say yes to these movies because it's like one day of work, because you're just doing lines, you know. Um, but I'm pretty sure that I almost said Roz. It's Raish. Raish is Giancarlito Esposito. So like to get that dude to just come in and do that for
right?
the
Well, I
opening
mean,
sequence.
they're not real big names, but you got freaking what is it, Fillion to
Yeah,
be
Nathan Fillion
Al
came
Jordan,
back in Throne of Atlantis.
like
Yeah,
because then what's his name? I would,
Jerry O'Connell is Superman.
yeah, and then Sean Astin or whatever from
Yeah, he's Shazam.
Shazam. Like,
We'll get to that. That's next step, dude.
I know, I'm just saying, like a lot of these guys are like bigger actors doing voice work for,
Like I
you
said,
know
it's
what I mean?
probably easy work for them. It's probably like a day of work and you're done and nothing to it. So I want to jump into my notes because I kind of periodically wrote notes throughout the bigger beats or things that caught my eye. I wanted to make a little note of it. So the opening scene was awesome. I love that opening assault on the league, mostly because again, this is PG-13 and there's a lot of freaking bloodshed in this movie. Like I was kind of shocked with how much gore there was in the first scene where the league and Raish are fucking
They're
slicing up
all just
Deathstroke's
like,
dudes. Like, oh,
then fucking it's a whole like coup to get him up into the top of the building so
to
they could
set him
bomb
on
it. And
fire.
he crawls out on fire and he misses the pit by that much, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like that's
Well, and the fact that I think the movie does a really good job of showing, like, making you buy into Damien's like technical prowess as a fighter, as an assassin. Because his scenes are done really well.
yeah.
And I think this movie does a good job of establishing this scene first to not only set up who Damien is and all that backstory, but it definitely puts it up front to be like, this is not a Batman movie. This is a Damien movie, but we're gonna put it's Son of Batman because Batman is the name that sells. But really, this is Damien's origin story. And I'm not some people might like it's not a bait and switch. I mean, it's pretty in the title of what it is. But I think this scene does a really good job of establishing, like, just in case you forgot, this is a Damien movie. And that is gonna, I think, lose people because you're right. Damien is such a hard, and as this movie has been going on, I'm wondering in myself, and I'll keep talking about it too as we keep talking about the movie, but I can't help but think that this could be a template for what James Gunn is going to do with Brave and the Bold. And I kind of would like that. But again, you're asking a lot for me to give a shit about Damien because he's such an unrelenting dickhead.
Yeah. Well, he's he's basically
He
just
doesn't
fucking over.
learn any again. By
He
the end of the
doesn't.
movie, he doesn't learn.
Yeah, like everybody's trying to give him a lesson. Like Grayson, he comes in and he's like saying that you suck at fighting, you're a piece of shit, and then Dick's like, yeah, but who won?
Yeah, I still beat your ass. Like,
Who beat your ass? Like
no, and
the thing about those, like,
if you watch the credits, periodically they'll show shots of the fight because they cut
oh,
it. So like they'll show you shots of the fight in the credits and stuff,
that's cool.
like little still images and shit. But Yeah. Uh, I wanted to keep talking about Dick, because I think Nightwing is one underutilized in this, but
Mhm.
two, kind of for me was great. I loved him and how much he hates Damian too, which is kind of amazing. But yeah, like you were saying, like that whole so when he meets him and then this movie is actually funnier than the other ones, I think. I think there's a lot more humor in this than I expected. And like one of the better jokes to me was it like, oh, you're gearing up for this fight, and then it just cuts and it's the next scene and Dick won the fight. Like I just thought that was a funny
Right.
gag. Oh, when he mentions the thing about how he was pissed, Dick was getting patched up by Alfred. He's like, all this time lecturing me about protection, and I was just like,
On his shit too. But the
oh,
part where Damien's
go
all
ahead.
about saying that he looks like a girl, the costume looks super feminine,
Yeah,
and he's like, "Bro, that was I was young then, man. It's different."
different time. Oh, another thing that made me laugh. Alfred is just like sick of Damien's shit and doesn't put up with it,
Like as
and
soon
I
as he
love
meets,
it. As soon as he's there, he's like, "Fuck this kid."
it,
I already had to raise one rich fucking brat, and I got to
he's
raise
like,
another one.
I'm still, I'm not, I might be young, but I still know how to detect sarcasm." And he goes, "I don't give a shit."
Yeah, and I'm old enough not to care.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is everybody hates Damien so much. We're like, yeah, get it, Alfred. Like, fuck this kid. But um, I wanted to touch on the Nightwing stuff because I wanted to, and all of this because I like looking at these and thinking like some of these movies could be, as we talked about last week with Justice League War. I feel like some of these could be good templates for the DCU and in the future. And I think while you'd have to do a little bit more than this movie, obviously, to make Damon more likable, but I feel like something like this could be a good template.
You extend it out, give him a little bit more of a redemption at the end, where he's not a complete dick.
And I've talked to you about this.
Bring in the
I
other Robins. There you go. There you go.
Yeah, well,
Bring in the other
dude,
Robins.
it's been too long that we haven't seen like the Bat family on screen. We should have by now. Like it's crazy to think about that. And
Which
also it tells you where we are at superhero movies because like 10 years ago I probably wouldn't have said that out loud. But now I'm like, how have we not had that movie? You know what I mean?
I want a solo Dick Grayson
I want
Nightwing
a Nightwing
in
movie. Just
Bloodhaven.
give me a
Just come
fucking
on.
Nightwing movie.
It'd be
Or a
so cool.
show.
Like have
I'll take an HBO Max show. Fuck it. I'll take a
yeah,
show.
yeah. You can have Batman in it for like 2 seconds. I don't care.
But again, I think this would be a good idea to like, okay, first of all, I would probably age up Damien a little bit and maybe make him like Spider-Man's age, like 15, 16 in that area. I also would do what this movie does and establish that Nightwing is out and exists and like establish that okay, yeah, he is the fourth Robin, and then right, that's how you could bring in more of the Bat family and make because I feel like Brave and the Bold should be a little bit more of a Bat family movie because
Well,
you can
one of the
like
highlights,
you can only do so much with Batman and Robin. I feel like
one of the highlights of this movie too was multiple times they were saying, once you're dead, you can't go into the pit.
yeah,
You just can't. So it's basically like, hey, you know, that other
uh,
story, we could do
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So that could be a thing too. Where it's like they talk about that, where like you
So
can't go
so,
into the pit because it fucks your brain up.
so what we're also saying is here. So this movie doesn't we doesn't kind of change our opinion. I think we're the same people that do. I don't. Damien is kind of in a weird way. I've kind of been like I just accepted that he's going to be the asshole Robin, and like I just get a little upset because as a longtime Batman fan, I'm like, yeah, we kind of already did this with Jason Todd, and then you guys killed him, and then made his character better by doing the Red Hood storyline. Like, can we get something with Damien? And I'm sure there is some comic run somewhere that has that, but my exposure to him, especially with the New 52, has been like, ugh. Um,
Because he's like again, he's an entitled brat. He's arrogant, just like his grandfather, and he just thinks that everything is going to get handed to him. Doesn't have to do the work.
It's like we're saying, it's Bruce that doesn't get yeah, Bruce that doesn't feel humbled by the death of Raish Instead, it's like, oh,
I gotta go kill that
I have to kill them. It's a dishonor to my family. You know what I mean? And it's in that part I understand why he's the way he is. But man, it is hard to root for that kid. Another thing, Batman's fighting Killer Croc just rips off his tail casually.
Well, he's a
Well, he was
reptile.
losing his scales.
Throwback.
Yeah, and he was like going feral almost.
Jacked up on the Man Bat serum, which I
I
like that Man Bat already exists.
oh
And
yeah,
Raish,
I liked
we're
I
gonna
thought
super soldier. We're gonna
the
mass produce that shit to make
well,
an army.
and I wrote that in my notes. Why has anybody else thought about doing a Man Bat army? I gotta say, that was one of my like least favorite parts about the plot. I was just like, couldn't it just have been Deathstroke wanting to kill Damian
right.
because he should have been in, he was Raish's next in line. Like, do we have to put the Man Bats?
Yeah, because again, the whole like they've got my family thing was like completely unnecessary. They could have just gone into the island and the castle and just tried to like get Deathstroke and get Talia out, but they had to fucking add this like extra side plot.
Yeah.
Again, if they had another 20 minutes, it probably could have been elaborated a little bit more.
Maybe fleshed out the Langstrom stuff more. Yeah, and
but really the whole point of it was that it was Raish that was doing it, and then Deathstroke took over because he killed him. So that was the only reason for that in the plot. Was hey, all that stuff that he was doing, I'm in charge of it now. That was it.
And then, but yeah, and then the final fight is it. Yeah, it's just why would Deathstroke lure him back if he already took over the lead? Well, I guess never mind, because I guess Talia does try to. Because I forgot about the fact that he captured Talia because she led a group that went after him and fought him, and he kidnapped her. Because I was thinking like, why would he even care about Damian if he's already taken over the lead?
Because Wade Wilson is just as arrogant and as big as an egotistical dickhead as
he wanted to kill the kid that took his eye.
Wanted to kill it, yeah.
Which was cool, by the way. When he fucking drives that, I was like, oh god.
Out of your heart. And then he like goes after him. That was pretty cool.
Oh, again, the fight scenes are really good in this. I really think the action delivers. It's just, I don't know, maybe it's because I was so hyped up to watch Throne of Atlantis that this one just isn't vibing with me as much as I wanted it to. I think because there's not a ton of meat on the bone, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, like the Man Bat stuff, I was just like, oh, that's cool that Kirk Langstrom's in it, but wait, why is? Because then I was like, the Killer Croc thing was only there to connect to the
girlfriend.
Did he fight a gorilla though with wings?
Yeah, he bought a Man Bat gorilla, like a freaking with wings.
It was a gorilla.
A gorilla bat.
It was a gorilla with bat wings on it. I forgot that. Why?
Just to show.
It was like a test.
What he was working on and what he was
the hybrid stuff.
Things and because I guess
I forgot about that.
Gorilla strength,
Oh well, yeah, it's Gorilla Glue. Gorilla strength
for Harambe.
Did you get another tattoo?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
You don't know how to grill?
For what?
Fucking.
You making the Jungle Book on
Harambe. Talks out for Harambe.
Oh my god. Okay. But anyway, so I absolutely forgot about that scene, but I was like, "What the hell?" Because I thought it was a Man Bat, but it was literally a gorilla with like bat ears, little bat wings.
Another weird thing. How's about the scene where we first introduce Bruce to Damian and Talia's pouring drinks, scantily clad, tits out, basically trying to introduce him again, and freaking Damian's in the other room watching his mom come on to him. Basically, like, what if
I was like, wow, we're just full on tits out with Talia. Okay. I was like, it's a lot of cleavage. I was surprised.
Well, it is a comic book movie.
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
Which I think it's very, very um, with the panels.
Yeah.
Because
One
like
one
that's like original artwork too. Talia just being
well, she's like that in the Arkham game, the Arkham City game.
that arc is another story, another time. That's fucking.
Excuse me. I was gonna say something before I was distracted by Talia's tits. Um oh, the animation style. This current animation style. I have things I like about it, things I don't like about it. I feel like their lips are too small. Am I crazy that their mouths are too small in those movies?
I didn't think about it.
Well, at least okay. I've only noticed it with the female characters. I feel like the female characters always have like small mouths.
Yeah, I think it's because they draw the mouth line, and then they like put in a bottom lip line, but they don't really like establish the mouths. They
Maybe
look a couple pictures.
I'm just
Yeah,
saying they
I
kind of
guess. Yeah,
they look a
I
little
guess I see
small.
what you're saying,
But who am I to judge?
but
I'm not an animator.
it's not something that I'm like, wow, their mouths are too small.
No,
Fuck.
yeah. Yeah, it doesn't take away from my experience. It's just something an observation. I was like, oh, their mouth's a little small. Um yeah, there's just not a lot. Like I said, there's not a lot of meat here that I feel like there's a lot to really talk about. And again, I think I did myself a disservice by watching these movies back to back because I think that I was kind of like, oh, I'm eating my vegetables before I can get to the Justice League movie that I want to watch. But I mean, there are things that I enjoyed. Like the final fight, like I said, is just fucking brutal and I love it. Like I was again, I'd only seen this movie I mean maybe once, and that was a long time ago, like when it came out. Or I think I'd maybe only seen the like a couple scenes. I don't think I actually watched the whole movie all the way through. So I hadn't seen this fight before, and when he sticks him on the wall with a knife
Oh yeah, dude.
in the middle of the arm, and then sticks him again, I'm like,
But
dang,
then you see how stubborn and how
yeah,
relentless that motherfucker is. That he wants to kill this guy so bad that he pulls his arm
yeah.
off the fucking knife, grabs the sword, and goes after him like nothing happened.
Rips off both arms after like this crucifixion. Like I'm still gonna go, and that's what happens when when you mix Al Ghul and Wayne genetics. This is what happens. You get a very
That
and
is
again
the super serum right there.
now that I just said it, now I think about it. Another reason where Damian is kind of a like he's designed well because as a character because of course he's gonna be a stubborn dick. His grandpa is Ra's al Ghul. His dad is Bruce Wayne. His mom is Talia, who's also an assassin. Like he's gonna have that like fighter mentality, like stubborn killer instinct. So it's cool to see it in that final scene and be like, oh shit. Again, like as an assassin, he's a bad dude. Like you're like, okay, I really like how they're doing it, but then
But
he
then you
talks.
remember
Then he
he's a
opens his mouth, and I'm like, shut the fuck up.
yep, yep.
Just be cool, Damien.
Which I like the
That's the
voice
point.
actor they got for him.
Yeah. No, yeah, he's great. And again, I say this because that's clearly the point. Like Damien has always been a character you're supposed to be annoyed with because yeah, he's an entitled little jerk. Um um yeah, I think that's most of the notes I had there too. Again, why hasn't anybody had an army of man bats? That's the real question. But oh, I liked how Batman handled that situation because Batman he knows bats, because it just made me laugh because he flies
Sonar.
in, takes out those batarangs. It's like they're fucking bats, dude. I know about this, and he just he doesn't say that, but it's definitely that feeling when he jumps in that fight and being like, "Fucking bats, this is child's play."
Yeah.
Here's some batarang, get the fuck out.
But no, how's about how's about when he's fighting the bats and Dick comes in the bat jet
Oh yeah.
and Langstrom is in the fucking.
Oh, dude, I got so I would love like the more I watch these, the more I've been like watching more and more animation, the more I have questions about some of the stuff that I would love to get a talk to an animator about because it's such a weird shot, right? Because there's a couple shots in this movie where they're like, okay, we're going to do like a 3D CG shot here. And it looked like when he like the first time he meets Damian and they jump in the Batmobile, it's like a CGI looking Bat. You know what I'm talking about? Like because you can tell. And yeah, when Langstrom fucking shoots him, the cannon is like a different, like a 3D looking CG cannon, but he is still in 2D. And so you know what I mean? It
Mhm.
looks like in a live action movie where you can clearly tell they're on a soundstage. That's what it looked like. And I don't know how you do that in animation.
Well, it's kind of like back like when you would watch old Tom and Jerry cartoons, and you'd have your still background, and you could
Yeah.
see like the one thing that's like
The
a
paint,
completely
yeah, the
different
painting of
color
it
of
or whatever.
animation,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
one that moves. I think it's kind of the same thing where they pick a solid background and then they animate a different part of it while the other one's just still.
And then they
So,
CG'd in the
yeah,
rotating guns, but yeah, die you bastard.
because that's the thing that I've got a problem with a lot of like this new animation and like a lot of stuff because it's even like
You're talking like
coming out now
3D
too, like where
Pixar
it's
illumination stuff.
randomly just different animation, like super blocky CG, and it's not done well. But
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, and there are times. Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe it's because we grew up in a different era where we're because I've always preferred 2D stuff. Like I know most movies that have come out in my childhood and like up to now have been like that 3D look. I think ever since like movies like Shrek were like a big hit, they
ever
start.
since Pixar made it big with Toy Story,
Yeah, it was like
all kind of go
Pixar and
that.
then DreamWorks had Shrek and then Illumination had Despicable Me and the Minions and shit. And like I get what you mean where it's like I kind of want to see more of stuff like we're talking, these movies that we're talking about. I would like to see more
And
of
that's and you'll
strong
probably
2D
notice
animation.
you'll probably notice it here in the coming months too, because I know you've been watching shows with Lincoln. Because I've been
Mm,
watching a lot of stuff with Everly, and like
yeah.
shit that I think that she would love and adore, she's not interested in because the animation style is different.
Hmm.
Because she's been real big on like Toy Story and Frozen, like Moana, like this
Yeah.
Pixar stuff.
And that's
And
why
now
those
like
movies
when
are
I try to
still,
watch,
yeah.
like even when I try to watch like Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, like the OG like princess movies, she's like less interested because it's not that big, like in your face popping animation stuff. And
Yeah.
it's kind of disheartening because I want to watch a lot of these other
But
movies, but I'm
but
stuck.
on the same side of that coin with like movies like Spider-Verse and stuff, we are seeing a much bolder step in animation
Dude,
and
Spider Verse,
yeah, across
that
the
animation.
Spider-Verse, yeah, it's that again, those Spider-Verse movies are such a benchmark of like what you can do with animation and I I I wish and I think we're gonna see more of it with these DC movies as they get towards the end of this because I haven't seen Apocalypse War, but it's rated R and it's like really hardcore because they're killing everything and just starting over. But I would love to see something with that with DC. And maybe that's what happens with James Gunn with what they do with the DCU, but like I want to see something like Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse for a DC property. That would be fucking awesome, because it's always better when there's more of them. You know what I mean?
The thing about, and I went and saw the Flash movie, and I'm not going to
Yeah.
spoil it.
I
I'm
haven't
not going to
seen it
spoil it.
yet as of recording. I'll see it on Father's Day.
I'm not going to spoil anything, but it does something in this movie that I think is, it, and it sucks because it gives a lot of like Snyder fans false hope, to be honest,
Oh, I
because
I know I think I know what you're talking about.
it does. There's a lot of and you probably already know this. There's a lot of cameos that they do.
Also, can I just say we talked about it last week. I hate the internet film discourse right now because I had so much of those cameos spoiled for me.
And the thing of it is, though, with I don't know, this is just a side note, is and it says spoiler alert, stuff inside, and then it shows a picture right on the front
Yeah,
cover of what they're
but
trying to spoil. And you're like,
sorry, I interrupted you. So there was like a there's a sequence. I know of this sequence. I don't know all the cameos, but I know there's a sequence where he's like in this multiverse thing, and there's like a bunch of cameos and stuff, right?
yeah, yep. So I'm not gonna get into it, but just because Ben Affleck's in it, and
Yeah,
like
that's in the trailers. We know that. Yeah.
there's a few other things because it's Barry and this whatever, but because he opens the multiverse and he's in it, and then there's other characters that have been established.
Oh, I see what you're saying. There could be a Snyderverse at
There
some
could
point,
be a Snyderverse at
like
some
an
point.
Elseworlds. Yeah.
It gives such a hard tease that the Snyderverse isn't dead yet, especially with Affleck being in Aquaman 2, and you're gonna be like, oh shit, yes, okay, okay.
Yeah, they
Because
fucked that universe up so hard.
because like I said,
They did. But hey, you know,
it sucks because this movie does, and I hate that I like it, and I hate that I enjoyed many things. But if you get past the fact that Ezra is a piece of shit, because honestly, he's in it,
yeah.
but he's not in it a lot. It's kind of like the paradox when we watch that,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah. Where
it's more
it's
of a
centered
Batman,
around Flash, but it's more Batman. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, which is cool. But again, like I said, it gives so many opportunity for all these past movies to come back and make themselves known again.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I would love to see Keaton come back
Oh,
in a
I
new
know.
movie.
Ah.
Like I would have fucking because I know
If I'm totally being honest with you, dude, I'm seeing this more as a Batman movie than a Flash movie because I was actually talking with my wife about it. My wife. I was talking with Ashley about it. I was like, I don't even have a Flash shirt. I'm like, but I do have a Batman shirt. Batman's in it. I'm mostly going to see Batman. This is gonna be a Batman movie for me. That's basically
well the main movie poster that they're using is the Batcave with the Batwing up, and
yeah, it says worlds
it's
collide.
Barry as the Flash, like this fucking
Yeah.
tiny. So I mean, basically, they're marketing it as a Batman movie too.
Well, which makes sense, like we were talking about, where we got the Justice League movie and then it's the Batman movie in the DCAMU because Batman is, we've said it. Spider-Man is Marvel, Batman's DC. These are just what it is, man. This is what it is. So I don't think we got much else to talk about with Son of Batman. Time to rate it. All right. I told you I was going to be a little bit lower on this. So we rate it by story, animation. Oh, another thing, this animation style. Some characters, it's just like we talk about Flashpoint. Some characters look good, some characters don't. Also, Deathstroke's voice actor, it was the dude from Dharma and Greg, and I can't not hear it. And I did not like him in this movie. I'm sorry, it's not his fault. Just didn't like it.
Yeah,
Anyway, I'm gonna make this really low. I'm gonna say story 4 because it's not much of a story.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, animation, I'll give it a 6. I think it's no. Sorry. I forget it's out of 7 because it makes no sense. I'm gonna give it I'll give it a 5. We got less than a minute, Luke.
Okay, so I'll probably give it a 3 for. Sorry, I forgot what it was. A 3 for story, 3 for story, and then
Animation.
5 for animation.
Wow. Okay.
Then what was the other one?
Voice acting.
Voice acting.
Other
I
than
give it a 5.
Deathstroke, it was
I give it a
solid.
5.
I gave it a 5. So I gave it a 14 out of 21. What did you give it?
13.
Wow.
13. I gave it a lower story because of fucking Damian. I can't stand
Well,
him.
how did I? That's what's so funny is I thought I would be more negative on it, and you still scored it lower than I.
No, I mean I liked it. I enjoyed it. I just again.
Oh, we didn't make it. Well, anyway, thanks so much for watching. This has been another episode of Drawn to DC. And we will be back next week, the 26th, with this is your homework for real this time. Justice League Throne of Atlantis. As you can see, Luke's already ready for it. He's already there. Okay, he's already there. What we didn't have an outro. Get drawn.